Hi, good evening. Welcome to Business Live. My name is Darryl Kwao. Great to have you as company. Coming up tonight, Chamber of Petroleum Consumers Ghana concerned over the quality of liquefied petroleum gas delivered by the Ghana Gas Company. More than 80% of day-old chicks imported via cargo plane this COVID times have died. We'll find out more. And on the Joy Business van, imagine this, an online platform where you can shop for everything African fashion. If you're careful about how you shop and where during this COVID-19 times, the story will interest you. Thanks for being with us once again. We've got the details right after this break. Well, tonight, the Institute of Directors Ghana has been meeting to assess the impact of the COVID-19 pandemic on businesses. Now, during its first engagement, the directors suggested, amongst other things, that local production becomes imperative and also called on businesses to come up with short-term survival strategies till September 2020. Chief Executive of the Institute, Fred Aite, joins me to highlight some of the recommendations made. Great to see you, sir, tonight. Let's begin with some of the issues that came up during your discussions as to how much of an impact COVID-19 pandemic has had on operations of businesses.
Indeed, I mean, during this period, you realize that demand is impacted, supplies are impacted. Some employees have had to stay at home because of the COVID-19 protocols and so on and so forth. What that means here is that we have board chairs, directors, and management happen to grapple with business sustainability issues and also value chain issues for them to actually sort of deal with them. And so these engagements of board chairs and directors, right, are necessary to sort of synergize ideas to look at what are these challenges, because these situations are ongoing. And you've got to really think fast, right, but also collaborate within the industry to come up with some applicable solutions that would okay for everybody. So some of the recommendations made during the roundtable, right, we believe very much that probably, vaccine may not show up very soon, right? And from now to the time vaccine shows up, if it would, what should we do? And so we look at short term, medium term, and then long term. Now for the short term, it's very important that you look at up to September. Consider the fact that if countries are closing their borders, movement of goods and services are impacted, then you've got to look at your local environment to see what you can get to really fill that. Maybe your gaps. It's also very important that there's a new normal, okay? And this new normal requires businesses to, as it were, have some strategic capacity development, but also have some mind shift, and then also have a new mindset to realize that no, this is where we are, this is what the situation is, and engage stakeholders, especially employees, right, to sort of get them well informed to the extent that they know what is happening and what is being done to sort of sustain the business in moving forward. And if there are some adjustments to be made, those adjustments can be made. It's also important that board chairs or various boards will have to consider bringing in some experts, right, with some skill set to help with some of these decisions. So we believe very much that the recommendations made for the short, medium to long term should be able to sort of help businesses in this country to sort of navigate their way through the situation. Indeed, it's very important that the pandemic is quite systemic and sort of transcends individual businesses. And that is why it's important you bring ideas together, and we'll be having a series of these roundtables to discuss these.
All right. I mean, it's important you talk about the fact that we have to bring ideas together. And I'm just imagining if I were a director or in a board or on a board, the biggest decision or the biggest task for me would be how to make my business survive within the short term, within the first 6 months of this COVID-19 pandemic you talk about. What are some of the considerations that directors have to be making right now?
Well, I mean, the directors have been considered that first you've got to make sure your employees are safe. So before you think about profitability, you need to look at the safety of employees and also even customers who are coming through your door. So you've got to establish that. And then also for you to look at what will enable you to survive is to really appreciate that there's a new normal. do you have to now consider what will be your sources of your suppliers? How do you manage the demand if it's gone down? What is your business continuity plan in moving forward? So if you're a director, it's very important that you put your team together and also bring in experts within the industry that you operate and make sure that you are implementing short-term solutions to make sure that you'll survive. So first, you've got to make sure that the employees are safe and customers who come through your door or you're engaging with are also safe. Then you can think of your business surviving, then you look at profitability moving forward.
You talk about the fact that you have to ensure that your employees are safe. I know that some companies have had to take very drastic decisions, such as lay off workers and all of that. How does this work out for directors? I mean, how much of a difficult decision is it for them to take at this point?
No, indeed it is. A lot of adjustments have had to be made in terms of either you've got to do a lot of virtual work virtually, right, and look at new technologies that enables you to operate remotely and still provide goods and services to the quality that your standards, say they have to. And so, as boards provide leadership. Yeah. And for that matter, there would be a lot of pressure on the board chair and the directors, and so extent also the management, which will be headed by the CEO or the managing director. And so it's very important that these considerations are looked at and consistently maintaining focus. Keep your eye on whatever you are doing and also recommendations which are being made and then implement them. And then also any business continuity plan that you have, you've got to activate that. Survival is the key.
Okay, the final one, we have just a minute on this one. I think we should highlight was the fact that you also said local production was imperative during these times. Now, I think that there's been a wake-up call since this COVID-19 pandemic started. What were some of the key recommendations on that one?
So some of the key recommendations are simply this. You've got to find out what are some of your inputs which can be substituted locally, and try to invest in those local channels to make sure they become available to you. Because likely if they are imports, they could be more expensive, movement could be affected. So it's very important that you've got to look at your mix and check what can you get as much as possible from the local market. Otherwise, you've got to inculcate and sort of develop new sources by locally, investing them locally. And so this new normal would also cause a lot of paradigm shift in how businesses invest in local enterprises in terms of their inputs to whatever they are producing.
All right. Mr. Fred Aite, Chief Executive of the Institute of Directors Ghana, thanks very much for speaking to us on Business Live. I appreciate your time. And later on in the bulletin, we'll talk to you about how the COVID-19 pandemic is causing an air glut. But first, some news that may concern you as well. Executive Secretary of the Chamber of Petroleum Consumers Ghana, Duncan Amwai, is concerned about the quality of liquefied petroleum gas delivered by Atobo Gas. Now, according to him, the recent product from the company has been contaminated, a situation he fears will cause explosions if not checked. He's calling on the Ministry of Energy to intervene immediately.
What we gather and our reports indicate that Atobo is putting on the market LPG that is quite high in propane. Now, what that means is that you would have a higher, pressure point, and unfortunately, whatever other gases or odorants they are also adding gives the gas some bad, smell. Beyond the fact that the gas that they are putting on the market is questionable, also is the issue of pricing. Now, for the past 4 months, per our records and per our checks, prices that Atobo put onto the market has consistently been higher than what the imported gas prices have been from the BDCs. And this has largely been attributed to the fact that the zonalization program by the NPA gives Atobo exclusive rights to sell and load gas to some particular regions in the country. Exclusive. That means there's no competition from any BDC whatsoever for those regions and as far as consumption is concerned. And so Atobo is enjoying a certain amount of monopoly in certain parts of the country, and that largely is making them price the way they are doing. As I speak with you, we are quite aware of protests by the LPG marketers, but that notwithstanding, we at COPEC would have expected Atuabo to be a game changer by way of managing prices so efficiently so that the BDCs and whatever prices they import and quote for would have been driven lower by Atuabo's prices. Unfortunately, Atuabo is rather leading them by sometimes 40 pesos. And that cannot be good enough. Our local gas processor should have a plan of making a lot more Ghanaians from the 25% we have today of LPG penetration. Atuabo should drive and lead the way to make a lot more Ghanaians sign on to LPG. Sadly, that is not what Atuabo seem to be doing currently, and we think both the Energy Ministry and the NPA should take a second look at the way and manner Atuabo is operating currently, the quality they are putting on the market, and the sort of prices that they are also churning out as far as the zonalization and exclusivity is concerned. It is not helping all of us.
Next, now, over 500,000 eggs sit at the farm gates in various markets nationwide, getting rotten as an egg glut hits the country. The Ashanti region has the largest population of large-scale poultry farmers, numbering about 13. COVID-19 is being blamed for the glut, and the producers are appealing to government to pick them up. There's more in this report.
Eggs, several eggs, at the railway market, Kumasi, go bad as a glut hits the country from COVID-19. The hardest hit in the value chain are women. They are here sitting outside waiting for customers who may never come in these COVID times. More than 90% of sellers are women who say they are losing thousands of Ghana cedis. These are eggs which should have been bought within a day. However, they have been here for over 5 days.
A lot is had been in the system. So we were trying to plead into the authorities. We have a lot of people, the donors, that they are giving money to others, they are giving free food to others, that they also coming into our aid. Why? Because we are all aware that eggs reduce our immune system. So if they also turn their attention into our side and buy some of the eggs we have the orphanages, they can give it to them, that's one. We have the frontline fighters, that is the doctors and nurses that they are taking care of the COVID patients. They also can take some so that it will imbue their immune system to fight against the disease. And then we have the prisoners as well, we can give them to them. And they are needy one. There are some people that they cannot even get money to buy one egg. They wait until it's Xmas or Easter before they can get one egg to eat. So those people too, the authority can also help us so that we buy these eggs for them and they also get their immune system to fight against the disease that we are all thinking about.
They used to be bought cash and carry, but they are currently being given out on credit, and the various experiences are bad.
Customers kakra yɛde bi kɔ nkran yɛde bi kɔ takrade takwa prestia ne ade nti wo customer wɔ hɔ a wo hwɛ abebu so no na otwe bi yɛde bɛbrɛw nti na ɛsa wo nso wodi bi kɔ moma wo nti obi wɔ hɔ a wotiri yi a ɔyɛ no kwafo ɔbɛtɔn no de usika abrɛw obi wɔ so obedi fa obi wɔ kra o metua kra before Christmas yɛ wɔ ha yɛ tokosi abrantie bi yɛfrɛ na adu jamfi wo ba baako wo bɛtɔ utua na ɔsan ba biem ɔne maame bi di dwa wɔ ha abante ne beto ye mrada sesa akosu ye wo ha nyina de ko ye yente ne nka biom ofra no cross onimu sese ano ne ayehia aban ne so ne se obeboa ye so o madeda hospitals na o mentumi ntokusu ye ne bi no aban beboa na wato na wachecha ama wo
aka ne de first kosu ye ne day e betuma to more than 1,000 crates say kosu ya ba 50 crates akoso na 100 yentokusu ya no kra Tama edumane ye ayetin sisi de papai ne de se dodo na yetugu epise wunya ba bia emfa nko first na nko mo ye aduane bi bua ye sisi na mo se de aye no kwesi odo kwa ye aduane bi hu a obeka se ase onto ntitu a na yetugu ntika na yebo Me amegyina ho me sika over 1 billion e wopem me nsanka wobɛkyina wobɛ kono so saa ontia kama nso so ye den a obɛgye sika ebisa na ɔde tɔ aduane ama aboa no di no asaade abɛlɛ yɛn nti ye wo hande nipa bebree de ka nti nipa bebree hwe ye ɔmo de ka ohunu obɛhu so wɔde me ka wobɛkɔ no so saa wobɛtwa kwan a onsanka.
The Ashanti region has the largest number of large-scale poultry farmers out of the 29 across the country.
Now, poultry farmers nationwide, apart from the egg glut, are faced with day-old chick supply shortage. National President of the Women in the Poultry Value Chain, Victoria Nogbe, says more than 80% of all day-old chicks imported these COVID times by cargo planes have died. She asks this leaves a big gap which local hatcheries cannot fill.
And you and I, we are aware that the imported broiler meat is cheaper than the locally produced one. And we are not that competitive. So the consumers, let me say, those who are not too health conscious, who prefer to go for an imported cheaper meat. But those who are health conscious would still strive to buy the locally produced one. We are not competitive because some of our inputs are imported. As we speak now, you know, we import day chicks. Yeah. So even the COVID that has made it very difficult because our production cycles are going to change. Because the time that you're ready for the day chicks, the planes are not coming. Yes, already I've mentioned that your production cycle will change because at the beginning of the year, you plan your production cycle. When are you taking your day chicks? How are you monitoring it? So that when the seasons are with us, like Christmas, you can have a lot more eggs to sell. Then people need the old layers for meat. So by Christmas, you are selling your old layers. Now, those of us who have sold our old layers at Christmas, now it will affect how you restock because the day-old chicks are not coming as it's supposed to be.
You're watching Business Live. We are turning to the Joy Business Van. Now, if COVID-19 has made you a bit careful about how and where you shop, this may be helpful. So imagine this, an online platform where you can shop for everything African fashion. That's what Henry Kobler and his team at ahoinipa.com have been able to build, currently showcasing products of over 600 vendors. They aim to become the largest marketplace for African fashion products, and they're well on their way to achieving that. Ahoinipa.com is our feature tonight on the Joy Business Van.
The fashion industry is worth trillions of dollars globally. Many African entrepreneurs are pursuing opportunities in that industry. Problem is how to market their products or where to market them. There appears to be a solution. At the Code Hub in Accra, Henry Kobler and his team are thinking around how to further expand ahoinipa.com, the e-commerce platform created by the computer engineer and his partner, Aboagye-Wiafe, a fashion enthusiast, to provide online marketing services for local designers.
Ahoinipa basically was started by my co-founder, Araba, where she was more intrigued by the designs African has. And so she decided to start selling most of these products. But from the computer background, I thought that it was better off to create a platform that brings most of the vendors together to sell most of these products, because it was so difficult always trying to find different creative people from different locations selling their product for her to sell to most of the people that would be interested in.
Ahoinipa features some of the best fashion brands in the country, such as Agile and Alfie Designs, carefully selected, and the emphasis is on quality.
Ahoinipa in our local parlance means a product that is well woven. So Arenia means woven, and then the pa means quality or good. So the main together comes into being Ahoinipa. A product that is well woven. So that's where we came out with that. We were looking at a word that essentially culminated what we really wanted to push out there.
All you have to do is surf for your product of choice and make your payments online. Ahwenepa then gets commissions on the products sold, and that's how the e-commerce platform makes money. And it appears to be working for a country where e-commerce is gradually becoming popular. Although the numbers are way below the global average of about 30%, young Africans with access to internet are embracing online shopping more.
So behind Ahwenepa are some amazing people that make it work. Even though it's an online platform, we basically have a lot of people that make sure that the day-to-day activities is on point. And I'm going to walk you through to see them. Essentially, what happens here is that it's more of a customer service-based and development-based hub, which whenever we want to add new features to our online platforms, like build our mobile applications, put in advancements to our mobile applications, we do it here. Also, if we have orders, there are customer service representatives that basically are going to call the vendors, make sure that the products are available, call the customers, give them the right information, and take the right information also from them.
What's perhaps more impressive about Ahwenepa is that it's expanded to 5 countries in just 4 years, including Nigeria, South Africa, Rwanda, and Kenya, where they have started production too.
In the criteria, you have to have very quality product. It has to be innovative. It has to be competitive on the platform. And we look out for people that seek to project the image of Africans. So it's not just putting any product on, but we're looking out for very innovative products that are within the quality range.
Henry explains what has contributed to his e-commerce platform's success, from just a classified site to a multi-vendor shop.
We've had some amazing successes where we're running close to over 600 different designers, very active accounts, buying and selling. We basically had to join in the Alibaba program, which was organized by Alibaba and ONTAG, essentially going through China, understanding how the e-commerce in Ali works, big data, augmented reality, digital payments. So essentially bringing that span where they've been able to make it into our local setting is one of the most amazing things which we've experienced.
One of the challenges for Henry and his team is obtaining quality products from local vendors, and they are tackling that by training some of the vendors.
We're looking at scaling to a lot more African countries. We've been able to do the East and South. We're looking at doing the North, and still within the West African countries, we think that there are still more stories to tell. We just don't want to sell product, we want to sell a story to the international brands. We want to compete alongside most of the international brands. We're looking at being able to raise the channels for most of the brands that will be selling on our platforms to have better standards, to sit on the shelves of Walmart and other very big brands out there.
And the story just began for Ahwenepa.
And I'm pretty sure they're excited they made this move around this time. That's it for Business Live tonight. Thanks for watching. More news on our website, myjoyonline.com/business. There you go. Thanks for watching, everyone. We are back same time tomorrow.